Okay, so today I'm going to be playing Mad Max for the first time in a couple of years. Probably 2021 must have been the last time I played it, right before I started this channel and started streaming. So if I go back, what have I done with this game? I played it right when it first came out, at least I think, close to when it came out in 2016, because I had just gotten a new computer, so I wanted to test a relatively new game just to see how it would perform. So let's go back through my computer history then, I guess it's relevant. So 2008, I got my first laptop. So on that, I mostly just played WoW and other, kind of random stuff, but it was still in the WoW phase when I was playing Wrath of the Lich King and stuff like that. Then 2012, I got my next one. These are both like gaming laptops, pretty much is always what I use. To 2012, then I started to play other stuff like Bethesda games and things that I had never played before, really. Right. Then 2016, I got the one I'm talking about here, where I played Mad Max for the first time. Not really very much, but I just tried that, and I was playing all kind of other just random things. And obviously between there, I was doing my old channel, right, between 2012 and 2016 and on, right? That was right in the thick of when I was doing my debate format and other old permadeath runs and stuff like that. And so after that, around 2020, I got the other computer that I've been using, that I used when I came back, and then now I'm using even another one. So I guess usually every 4 years I would get one, but I guess these two have gotten closer together. I got one maybe in like 2020, and then maybe one in like 2022 or something kind of like that. But the point is that, yeah, I played it a little bit when it came out around that time, and then I played it a little bit in 2021, which was sort of just random. So that was before I started streaming. I started again in like October 2021, so I played this like a little before that. So around that time, I was starting to get in the mood to try to stream again, but instead, I was like, okay, I'll just record it. So I have a few recorded sessions that I just found recently that kind of made me want to play this again, where I would do these long sessions of me I would leave it on record on OBS. And even if I went AFK or whatever, I was like, okay, maybe if some cool moment happens, right? This is part of the reason why maybe originally I wanted to stream in the first place, like way back in the day. Like, oh, maybe a cool 1 in a million moment's going to happen. And then at least I can edit that out and just show that as a clip. Like, oh, some really crazy interaction happens or some RNG lucky moment, right? Like, oh, wow, you would never believe that actually happened. So I just did it for that reason. I wasn't thinking about actually uploading it. I wasn't doing commentary, right? I literally just let it record just for the sake of it. I did that with a couple games around that time. So this is like the beginning or middle of 2021, like Shadow of Mordor. I was doing some sessions like that. This game, I was doing something like that. I think I did a run of BioShock Infinite on the highest difficulty. I forget what it's called, like 1998 or something weird like that. And I did actually a decent run of that where I only died like 20 times. And you might think that's still a lot, but whatever. That's still relative to how difficult that's supposed to be. I did pretty well. So I think I can't find that one, but I have a whole bunch of stuff like that recorded. I have like these 10 external hard drives that are all like 8 to 16 terabytes each, and I have a bunch of crap, including just all my VODs from this channel that I'm trying to very judiciously save over time. But the point is that, yeah, so I had done a pretty long a couple sessions of this, so I would assume I played it at least 50 to 100 hours. I don't know exactly how long, and I don't have my save file handy. I know I have it saved somewhere on one of those drives, but I would have to go look for it, and it would be kind of more fun to continue playing that rather than to start at the beginning. There's a couple tedious tutorials things, and then whatever. I'd want to at least see that, so maybe another session I'll have to go and find that and take a look at where I was at least. But just kind of exploring the open world, and it kind of shows you how I play these kind of games, that I could play it for 100 plus hours and it's still, oh, it's my first playthrough because I've never beaten it, and I never necessarily even tried to beat it. Like with Skyrim, it's probably over 1,000 hours, right? Where I've never beaten it, and I wouldn't even want to. So I'm pretty sure I did it though as a Permadeath First playthrough, right? Even though I wasn't streaming or making a big thing out of it. I don't think I died, but I guess even if I did, I could say, okay, look, I'm starting fresh with another attempt, so it's still a first playthrough because I haven't beaten it. But I'm pretty sure I didn't do that. Like, I didn't die, and so I was treating it like that anyway. But we'll treat it like that here. So if I die, the playthrough's over, right? I just have to end the run, delete the save file, whatever. But no, if I find that save file, maybe I could continue that. So I've done that with a couple series, like Detroit. I had started Detroit in the past, and then I just never played it in between, right? Because I stopped streaming in 2019, then I came back in 2021. So I think I had a save file that I had started in Detroit, and then I left it, and then when I came back, I was just like, let me just continue from there rather than start a new game. And it was relatively towards the beginning, but still, it was odd to do that. Right? You would think I would have wanted to restart, but I just continued from there. Same thing with like Spirit of Justice, where I was at like case 3. So I had done cases 1 and 2 on the old channel, and then I started with case 3 over here. So it seems a little odd and disjointed because then I don't have video of that, right, at all. Or even Detroit, I don't have any of that saved. So wherever I start from is just going to be odd. So if I uploaded some of that to YouTube, and it's like, wow, you just, you won't be able to ever see the beginning of the playthrough then. So that is a little odd. I guess PvZ hard mode I sort of started on the other channel, but I restarted it here, so I guess that doesn't matter. Or even like Hollow Knight, if I was to continue that, I have the save file for that somewhere too. So I had almost beaten that. So it's always a bit of a weird decision. Like, do I want to restart, or do I want to just continue from there where I was? So in this case, I'll do the tutorial just for the heck of it, which I kind of don't want to do. I kind of wanted to just explore around, which I probably did for dozens of hours there. So, and maybe I could even upload those silent sessions, but I don't see the point because that's like, just me. You can kind of tell, even though it is no commentary, that it's a distinct, or here's like the opening cutscene, even though I didn't choose to make a file yet. That's just the title screen.
It is known that the world fell.
This intro could pass off as a Fallout intro. Right, like the same sort of thing. War never changes.
The dead will not suffer the hardships of the terrible world.
So it's a good game, but it kind of like the on-foot combat and gameplay isn't that interesting.
I have no remembrance of anything.
Like a Batman Arkham kind of thing. It's a little generic and not the most interesting that way. But the exploration around the world is pretty fun. And then, the vehicle combat and everything like that is very fun and interesting and unique. And it makes great use of the open world with that because, the car is both used for... I guess that wasn't really the full intro. The car is very much a character almost. You're upgrading that. You're kind of takes on a lot of personality. You're using it not just to get around the open world, but also to fight. So that part is very interesting. So I wouldn't even say it's a great game or anything, but it's definitely tutorials. I guess I'll leave on. Vehicle roll. Let's turn that off, I guess. Or it's not letting me. What? Wait, what? It's somehow bugging out. Helper on. Why is it acting all bugged out like that? Or maybe you can only go left to right. Okay. Vehicle roll. Let's look through some of these settings. I definitely wasn't using a controller, although sometimes those are the two kind of games that people say you should use a controller for, is like a game that involves driving or a game that involves like a sports kind of game. But I still don't really typically like it, or even like Dark Souls kind of games. But I swear I did better with a keyboard and mouse than that. Button maps I don't really care about. Invert, no. Vibration, I don't know what it's gonna vibrate here really, but that is relating to the controller. But then again, it says mouse sensitivity, so how can that be on that page? Audio setup, theater, I don't know what. See, technically I'm playing with headphones, but I don't know if that's the best thing to. Default setting, I'll just do it anyway, right? Whatever's default. Dialogue, cinematic. So you have that little guy who keeps calling you the Raggedy Man, who's like your little assistant. What else do you have here? It's like a pretty... I don't know. Like, I'm kind of a sucker for open world games, so sometimes it's not even that they have to be that good. It's just like I'll kind of derp around and just enjoy it that way. I don't think there's a difficulty setting necessarily. I don't remember that, but no, I will treat it like if I die once, it's all over, so it's high stakes. I think I came pretty close to dying a number of times, but I don't think I ever did. And again, all I did was get through like the tutorial, and then I just kind of wandered around like fucking crazy and just did every little thing. And again, there's a lot of games now that do that. It's kind of where like I don't consider open world to be a genre, right? Because any genre can be open world. It can be an open world story game, or an open world action game, or an open world RPG, fantasy, open world adventure, open world puzzle solving. It could be any genre within that. So it's kind of more just a type on top of that. So when you just say, oh, it's an open world game, but what does it consist of? So we need to see more games that stretch the genre a bit with respect to, you can do a non-combat focused open world game, and that would work just fine. So I don't think there's any gameplay in this. I won't skip it because obviously it's been so long. I mean, it's been 4 years since I played it, but even then, I didn't really do this part of it then. I probably continued from... Actually, I can't remember that. Do you actually kill him here? Spoilers, right? He actually takes him out here, and then everybody's trying to avenge him the rest of the story. But he straight up kills the villain here, I think. So yeah, this is showing off all the kind of mechanics you'll be using in the car, which is very satisfying, both to upgrade it and to, you get the little grappling hook. Oh yeah, and then you...
He could silence the cacophony in his mind and find peace.
I think this...
place he called the Plains of Silence.
This guy, I think, is the one who gives you the upgrades, the one who's talking.
The provisions and the fortitude. He only needed the fuel. And here, there was but one place to go for fuel. Gas town.
Those are the two mechanics you keep managing, is the gas, which I kind of like that, and then also the water is kind of heals you. And I can't remember if you have to drink just for the sake of drinking. I think it's just for your health. But no, I kind of like mechanics like that where you have to keep managing something. I mean, this would have been a cool segment to let you actually play through, which, I mean, obviously later on you'll have the chance to do that, but like, they're setting up that, oh, this guy's gonna be the villain, but no, he actually just takes him out here, so that defeats the purpose a little bit. Like,
You've hunted well. Here's the fox who thought he'd plunder from Scabra Scrotus.
or maybe I'm misremembering. Why do I swear like he, it makes it seem like, okay, now this is how the game will start, that you'll be left for dead here, but no, he actually gets up. They're sort of playing with your expectation. Normally it'd be like, that's how the game starts. You're left like that, and then you go for revenge. But no, he literally just says, fuck it, I'll just do it right now. And this is one of those games that obviously gets the mature tag on Twitch, which it never used to have that before. Like, they expected you to do it manually. Now it'll just do it automatically, like with... Oddly enough, Frostpunk was the first game I played where it automatically did that. Of all the games, you would think like a 4X type of thing. He deserves it right there for just kicking his own dog. Yeah, this will be the Batman Arkham thing. Some of the weapons are interesting a little bit, but yeah, the melee combat is a little janky. Make you think he's still alive the way he tosses you like that, but I'm pretty sure they keep talking about that, how wow, he's the one who killed Scrotus, or oh, now we got to talk over this because the fucking copyright music. I don't know how much that's really an issue, but whenever they do this, oh god, I don't like to mute it altogether, but it should be fine. For if I just talk over it, you won't really be able to hear it. Or the worst thing that happens is they just mute that part of the stream. It won't be that big of a deal. But that annoyed me in my PvZ hard mode thing, where it's a case where, yeah, we don't need a dog accompanying us in the wasteland. What are you trying to copy Fallout completely? Because you always have that in like Fallout. I think you have that in Fallout 3 too as an option, but they make a bigger deal of it in Fallout 4. Yeah, that definitely subverts the audience expectation, that you wouldn't think he would actually kill the guy, right? You would just set him up as a villain and then hunt him down throughout the game. But in that case, it kind of reverses it. You're the badass and they're coming after you. Instead of you seeking revenge, they're seeking revenge on you. So yeah, that was the whole reason why I even played this game, was originally, was because, oh, I want to try out my new computer. And this was a new game that had come out right around then. So it's like, okay, let me try to see how it holds up. And it was fine. In fact, what are the graphic settings on now? Because this is a 2 generations further computer that should be much better. So I should be able to handle max settings. Which it doesn't even look all that great, honestly, but... So max, garage... where's like the overall... visuals and stuff? Maybe you can't change it from here? Pause max collectibles. Wait, there's nothing to do with the visuals. So... It must have been from the title screen. Whatever, I'll check it later. I mean, this looks okay for 20... I guess it said 2015 actually on the title screen, but... it's a case where I think it was more 2016. It might have been the end of it, or maybe it didn't actually come out fully until then. But no, if I fall off the side, I think that might count as a death, whatever game over screen failure state we got. Yeah, I remember this kind of vaguely, and I was super OCD completionist about even this. Like, you gotta look at it from my perspective as somebody who was always a completionist in games growing up, right? That imagine doing that in an open world game, and it could take you forever to do it, but I kind of enjoy that, and, you know, so it's less about beating it, but I still consider it a permadeath first playthrough because, how do you do this even? I mean, we found the water. What do you want me to do? I thought it's just E. But, you know, even if I play for hundreds of hours and I never beat the game, if I die, it's still over. So that's a hefty weight to carry, which I often don't do that with, I don't do that with, like, Skyrim and stuff, because that would be unfair. I'm not going to delete 100 hours of progress. Oh, he was wanting me to do it from the dog side. I was trying to give him his space. So yeah, it only does various amounts like that. But I feel like some of these keep refilling over time magically. Or, I mean, it's like a rain catcher, but there is no rain. But it's somehow still, you know, you come back to this later and it'll have more water somehow. Or his voice is very quiet and almost whispery, like he was competing with me for my ASMR style that I used to do in the past, where I was the quiet gamer. Right, or at least now because he's tired. But I think he always talks like that in kind of a gruff way. Yeah, you'll have the dog as a companion, and you'll also have the other clown guy that you meet right now.
This man, are you quiet, gently? What? No!
It ain't for eating.
It's you. Foul was alive inside the other gives birth. So to blaze by godly plug ignite. Revolution about revolution, rejoice! Please, don't kill Chum Bucket! Please! Hey!
Why shouldn't I?
Because I know you. Yeah, I spied you in the long lookers. They left you for the blowflies, and they snatched your ride, and now you'll be looking to snatch it back. That's what the prophecy says. You're the driver.
That's right.
Then Chum Bucket is your man. Yeah, I'm your man. Yeah, yes, I am. See, I have a vehicle that can take you to your car. I do say. That's right. See, she's not running now. Sorry for that. I came here for the parts. You see, I'm a black finger. I can make it work again. And Dinky D, too, is gonna need an overhaul.
Yeah.
Strike.
No, I won't. I know you'll find me and dismantle me. I know. Chum Bucket's not stupid.
Like, you should let you upgrade your dog too. There'll be Max, there'll be the dog, and then there'll be the car too. And you can upgrade all three and have like a skill tree for each. But I'm pretty sure you can't do that. In fact, I don't remember the dog really doing anything. I don't think it helps you during combat. So I don't know what the whole big fuss about it right now is. It'll just be some way to kind of guide you in places and stuff. But no, the gameplay sort of gets a little repetitive. You'll go to a base, you'll kind of do the same thing over and over, kind of like the way Far Cry does it, or Assassin's Creed. Like, there's a great formula template kind of thing to these kind of games that, even though it shows you the strength is the strength of it is just when you let people do it freely, right? That's always my argument too in favor of it. Like, even if you don't like the gameplay or the content, when a game lets you do it freely, that makes it so much better. Why? Because you can just skip stuff you don't like or do only what you want. right? So you could have two games that have exactly the same content in them, but one of them forces you to do it in a linear way. One of them lets you do it freely in whatever order you want, right? So, oh, you don't like the water temple, but you can save that for last, or maybe you can skip it and do, you know, every other temple besides that and still progress, right? So if you give somebody the option, then even if you don't like it, the fact that you can skip it means that, you know, it makes the overall experience better.
Dog's bleeding out.
Oh, I can fix it, but I do my best work in my sanctum.
Push the car.
I need wire to fix my buggy, but then I can show you where they took the black on black.
Where do I find wire?
Up that path. But before you go, grab some grits, Saint. You must be running on fumes.
And it's always the same generic can of like Dinky D is the food, right? It'll be the same can that they reuse the model over and over, right? A million times. That's the only kind of food in the whole fucking universe, right? That brand had a monopoly before everything went to shit.
Sure beats eating maggot gruel.
I mean, that'd be the only thing that would be preserved, probably. Like the way they talk about the timeline is like, oh, it's something that just happened. Like you were alive in the past before. So you keep finding these little trinkets and whatever, blast to the past stuff. So you meet that one dude who's going to give you your abilities, which is kind of a, I forget exactly how that works, like a rage mechanic. And yeah, I'd be really stingy with wasting ammo, which you don't really have to aim very much. You can kind of just, it sort of just locks on. Or I'm trying to do space to do it. So now you have your first little combat encounter, which again, the combat wasn't really too hard. In fact, I'm wondering if there's a difficulty setting, but I don't think there is. Or maybe I should do a run like that. I'm not allowed to counter. I should actually do that because I was trying to do that in Shadow of Mordor a little bit, but I'm not allowed to counter. I can only roll, or I can just, you know, manually punch them again to interrupt them, or I can roll away. So I'll make it so I can't do the right click counter button that, you know, that all these games sort of feed off of, because that's kind of a cheese mechanic. That's a good idea, actually, for a format, because it's not enough just to do the first playthrough permadeath, clearly. But yeah, I'm very particular about looking in like every corner for stuff, but I don't know how much that kind of thing there really was. But maybe you have to do the right click sometimes to steal their weapon. Right, you can kind of, well, maybe once you just knock them down, I should count it like that. Right, but you can sort of parry. So left click to strike an enemy, right to parry, retaliate after parry with powerful counter, continue with the strike after a counter chain strikes. I'm going to try not to use that mechanic though, like I said. So I'll try to just do it manually. That was like a power attack too that we're doing. Right, we'll either roll out of the way, or we will just counter with an actual attack, as in like that. And I always try to do it in a realistic RP way that, like, you know, I'll hit from one to the other, because I'm assuming they're not going to just sit there and wait to attack. So, like, I'll try to keep balancing out the... Why is it telling me to do that now? Yeah, there's all kind of random collectibles and stuff. Mostly it's just scraps, though, the generic resource amount. Right, everything will just be scraps. Which maybe even makes a little bit more sense than other games. Like that you would find scraps everywhere, and that's what you'd be trying to do, instead of, you know, enemies always have an honor code that they'll never all rush you and attack you at once. They're gonna die anyway, so they may as well do that, but... yeah, I'll try never to use a counter, and I'll also, unless it's key for some mechanic, but I'll still try not to use it. But no, it's like, you know, why did the bear have gold in it? Like, it must have just swallowed it somehow, and that's why you picked it up in an RPG, right? Why do bears and wolves and wild animals have gold compared to, oh yeah, you can't even move while doing that, which is kind of dumb, compared to why there'd be scraps everywhere. I guess, you know, you'll make scraps out of it or salvage something, so in a way that kind of makes sense. Oh, here comes the completionist thing. But as long as you can go back to every area, I guess it'd be fine. Location info. Scavenging locations can contain useful items such as scrap, ammo, and food, as well as project parts and relics. Reveal all scavenging locations, complete survey crew, projects, and strongholds. This game feels kind of like a guilty pleasure thing. Like there are flaws with it, or it feels sort of generic at times, the melee combat, etc. But it's still sort of like fun to just go around the open world. So even though I know it's not that great, right, I would still like it, or I would still potentially play it for a long time. So it's one of those weird things that I feel like probably some of the Assassin's Creed games would be like that. Like they might feel a little generic and tired after a while, but they would also feel like they could still be fun in a vacuum, right? In a micro sense. I don't think you can crouch really. Control is to jump. Where is the other scraps though? The way it's kind of teasing me with this. I don't even need the car because I think this is where you just leave and go out to the wasteland. Warning, return to the objective. Now that could count as a failure state too. That's the one thing you never want to see in an open world game, a message that restricts you from, because Far Cry would do that all the time, but only when you're on a mission, really. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying with open world games as a genre. Like, oh, don't you love open world games? Like, oh, the fantasy RPG ones, a turn-based one, you know, action combat one, hack and slash one, a shooter, a, you know, fist fighting one, like Sleeping Dogs. Like, so it's not really a genre. There's so many different ways to do it. One where you solve puzzles, one where you just explore and it's not combat focused, one that's like a sim game, one that's like a, you know, crafting survival kind of thing. Oh, here we go. I always think outside the box too much. So surely you could come back though for that, right? Even to the starting area. But even if you couldn't, it'd be a case where this, you know, whatever. I'm just super particular about that. It should be 100% completionist challenge. So if I fail to get something, collect something, I also fail for that reason. But no, this will be more of a survival game than The Last of Us or something that was considered it. There's the dude. Right, you get all these like rage and tranced out kind of mechanics to go in combos and do crazy shit. Some of which might not make any sense at all because you are just like a normal human still, but yeah, I've never really played any of the Batman Arkham games very much. Maybe I played a little bit of the beginning, but like I could make a whole series out of trying to do all those, or even the Assassin's Creed games. I've never beaten one.
Here I heard the bloody sounds of a smackdown. You're not leaking, are you? Tell me you're not. Huh? Praise be! Praise be! My buggy's just over here. Follow me.
Yeah, your ammo is very limited, which I like that you can't rely on the gun too much, but I don't like the fact that you can't move, or maybe that's a perk you get later, the ability to move with the gun out.
This way.
You know, so you go in, you shoot one guy, then you throw a knife at another, then you beat that other with your fist. Like, it's always that kind of Batman Arkham little, almost like a game theory thing where, you know, you need like one little thing for each person. You can't just go in and just fist fight everybody.
Buggy's humble, but she can haul.
Right, or like even in Splinter Cell, I like that idea of, you know, you go in, you turn off the lights with some device you have, and then you know, sneak kill one guy, then you smoke bomb. Like you always need a...
Amen! Huh? May we arrive in time to save your black on black from slaughter. These barbarians love to chop.
I have to get used to the driving a little bit, or this is going to just be shitty because of the car that you're using. But yeah, you always need like an explanation. You can't just go in there and fist fight 10 guys or just shoot them up. You would be like very vulnerable, especially on like a high difficulty. So if you just go in there guns blazing, you'll just get one shot.
We may be able to spot your car.
Right, pretend like you're as easy to kill as the enemies are. If they shoot you once, you're dead, or, you know, a couple times, or they'll gang up on you. So you need some sort of, you distract one guy with this, and you smoke bomb the rest, and then you go around strategically, and you would need like one little technique for each guy and one little sort of justification of how you can beat them in such a large group. So Batman's big about that. He'll come in, he'll, you know, stealth kill one guy, then he'll smoke bomb or something, whatever, do something, fly out, throw a batarang at one guy, then go away again, disappear, use the cape for one. Wow, you won't even let me explore that much. But no, I think it takes a while for you to leave this initial area, which is annoying, right? When you go through the little impasse there.
Yeah, see, this is where the thick brow squat and cut. Butchers, infidels. Oh, yeah, look, there. Scabrous Scrotus is their king. He's a big
But he's
boss
dead.
in the gas town, you see. Scrotus always keeps the best parts for himself. Yeah, but he's not here now. You see, I don't see the Land Rover.
I'm getting my car back.
Wait, please. An idea. It's better for you, and it's better for me. Just listen. Look, your black on black is toast. It's scrap. It's gone. She'll never be whole again. Huh? Now I can build you a car. Bring into creation one that's faster and tougher than the black on black ever was. Yeah?
Or they have always these snipers that are a big pain.
Faster than fear, tougher than an iguana's gonads. Come with me. We mustn't be seen. Huh? I'll take you to the tabernacle, and when you see what I'm gonna show you, you'll be shouting holy all day long.
But that's almost a system you should have had here, is like a stealth system. Like, you have the car element, which is very good. You have the melee combat, which is kind of a little generic with the whole Batman thing. But then you almost needed one other system. Like, a stealth system could have been good. I understand why the gunplay would be pretty limited, because it's, you know, you're not going to have a abundance of ammo, obviously. Even though the narrator says that at the beginning, he has the provisions. Like, do you really have? He has the weapons, the provisions. Like, you don't have shit, dude. My car loss reduced to scrap. Scrotus's War Boys. I need new wheels and I need them fast. Can this bizarre deranged mechanic help me? Hey, you're something of a deranged clown yourself, but binoculars 1. Okay. You kind of scope out the different key points in the base, I guess. I kind of lost my orientation of where it is, but this is where you want to go through eventually.
Perfect place to build a car.
Really? I mean, it's pretty conspicuous structure, though. Or maybe I shouldn't be allowed to use this mechanic too much, because that makes it too easy. You should just have to go in there blind. But where was even the base? I kind of lost it. Wait, what? Where were they just looking at? Oh, here we go. Or maybe that was all he wanted to see. I thought the first thing you do is you take out the base, but maybe you make your own base first. But yeah, there's so many explosives in this game that feel like a waste of fuel itself too, right? Every time you blow up a big red barrel, you know how much gas you're wasting?
I have much to show you.
But no, you could ridicule that opening narrator line. He's like, he has the provisions and the tools and the weapons. All he needs is gas. Like, bro, he doesn't have a car at the beginning, right? Because his car's gone. He doesn't have fucking hardly any ammo, like one bullet in this thing. Or like 1 and 1 that you can reload with.
What is this place?
You are in the outer graves. Over there is the Great White.
An ancient seabed.
I'm not sure. No, but we are at the bottom. It doesn't get any lower than this.
Yeah, I forget how much there's really to explore here, but you can always come back. So I don't know how OCD completionist I'd want to be, but what if I want to do it here? Like, let's see how much we can do before we even do the basic tutorial. But you got to get to the Great White to really experience the open world. But they should always give you a taste early in a game like this to see, like, okay, if I just want to go around and do little missions and beat up people, right? I keep trying to use E for that, and the wrong kind of keybind. Every game uses a different thing. You'll be trying to use F if you're a GTA kind of player. Or again, just use a controller, they'll say. But, you know, it's a real shame in the modern era of gaming where so many games involve shooting and aiming that you would obviously need to use... You would obviously need to use a thing for that. I think you could rate this just with the raw power of this, but the angle of it is what makes it difficult. But no, I mean, any game that involves aiming, you don't want to use a controller. How do I know that? Because even the developers will give you an auto aim option, like a lock-on, which is then basically admitting that, like, what is this vantage point? Like, how are we this high up? And we're at a seabed. It doesn't even make any sense. But no, like, they'll give you lock-on, so it turns it into like whack-a-mole. But the fact that you have to do that is the problem. That they're admitting that it's not as good. On PC, they won't give you an auto aim lock-on option most of the time, but when you use a controller, even on PC, they will give you that option. So that's basically them admitting that it's pretty shitty. I don't know if this will actually work or not. God damn it, I just wasted all my ammo. You would think it wouldn't even let it target that if that didn't work, but... So... Yeah, that's basically developers confessing that. This is the kind of game that would work pretty well, though, because Thump Skink, he's probably underneath there, but we can't really fight him properly. I'd probably just aggroed him with the fucking... you would need, like, the grappling hook or something to pull that off, I guess. Right, I imagine if I hit it at the right speed, I could probably do it, but... Or he'll keep repairing the car on demand, too. Fuck. Like, if you stop and it's about to blow up, he'll just start working on it. But no, I like when they give you these little elements to... We're discovering all these enemies that we can't even see. All the elements to manage. Like in an RPG where you have to, like, repair your gear. Whether you die or not, or whether you know, are doing well or not. Every once in a while, you have to repair your gear because it's just getting damaged, wear and tear from combat and everything. So here you have to worry about... Not really fixing the car too much, but you have to worry about... you know, the fuel, the water. I wish there was like a survival element too, where you have to find food and water, not just for health purposes, but just for actual survival purposes. That could be a mode that they add. So that little loot that we can't get, obviously, or it sometimes means it's just in the general area, not like where that exact icon is. But even this could be underground from there, like you have to get through, but probably up at the top. Yeah, all the loot is going to be is just the same scraps over and over, so it's not like anything really novel or interesting. The weapons you get are sort of very contextual, like you'll pick up a weapon and it'll be like just for that particular combat encounter. You don't get to keep it, or you take it from the enemy you just killed, but it's kind of limited. At least I think that's how it works, right? Like, you can't just have a weapon all the time, which is kind of dumb in a way. Right, you're always just relying on your fists, and occasionally you'll pick up a weapon here or there. I guess the knives you kind of have as consumables to throw and stuff, or to finish people. So I'll do the roll, or I'll do that, but I won't do anything. Yeah, let's just make it a hit list run, but it's definitely a no counter run. I honestly didn't see that guy there. Nice strategy. Wait for all your buddies to get killed, so I never expect that you're even there. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be the extent of the melee combat the whole game, or you'll get a couple combo systems, but it just doesn't feel quite inspired enough, but it is what it is. 1 out of 2. But yeah, I mean, this is the game. Like, this is what I would do for hundreds of hours, where I just go around and fucking do this shit. Oh, I thought this was something you could interact with. Maybe it's somewhere up here, or it's just inside. So yeah, the icon won't be exactly where it is, or maybe it kind of is. It's hard for me to tell. I feel like it would just be in the overall area. Well, it would have to be, because unless it moved from there to there. Right, there's not going to be an icon for every single one. But no, I should have to do it in some strategic, rhythmic way where, like, you know, oh, I have to make sure I hit the other guy when I'm fighting somebody in front of me, because otherwise he would hit me, even though he won't, because they have this, like, weird honor code, right, that they won't do that. But, you know, if 10 people rush in and all try to kill him together, even if 9 of them die, or even if all 10 of them die, they'll at least take you with them, instead of, oh, we're going to try to do self-preservation and try to fight you one at a time. But if you do that, then you all die, so it makes no sense. Or like they're trying to avoid friendly fire, like, oh, we'll accidentally hit each other, and if you can do that, then And I don't even have the rollover assist on that we saw in the opening menu, but whatever, you can overcome stuff like that pretty easily. Like, your car does start to feel a little bit too comfortable, where it can be on fire constantly and you just kind of, I mean, he at least uses scraps up, I guess, to do that, but right, to try to fix it, he'll keep consuming the scraps that you have. I don't want to go in there necessarily just yet, but I don't think there's a whole lot to interact with here. I almost want to try to take out the base before we even go there, but maybe it won't let me somehow. Yeah, if only I could just go past this. This is literally all you need to go to the Great White. I could literally climb over that myself. Fucking, this is the freedom that we so desperately want. So there's two things I want to see on like the main menu, which can you save it like anytime you want? I guess maybe not. But no, I want to check the graphic settings to see what they were actually on, because I can't seem to access them from here. And I also want to see, I guess there is no difficulty setting. I couldn't find it before. I'm pretty sure there wasn't one, but I can do things to try to make it maybe a little more difficult for myself. So space was eventually the little boost. I mean, this might have been one of the best vehicle invested kind of games ever, because aside from games where you're in space, right, worrying about like your ship or something like that, I can't remember ever playing a game that put this much effort into your vehicle in terms of the amount that you can upgrade it, the amount that is relevant in combat, the amount that you're constantly worrying about it, thinking about it, maintaining it, right? That is a cool element, of course. You could say games like, oh, GTA, but that's more just cosmetic, right? You're not really using it in combat much, or maybe over time you kind of do.
Black on black is gone, Saint. There's nothing out here.
What does the black on black have to do with anything? I'm just kind of exploring around randomly. Like, you're doing it for cosmetic purposes, like, oh, I got a new grill or this or that, but yeah, you'd have to compare, like, what are the top 5 games in history that let you really customize your vehicle and make your vehicle feel like a character. Or maybe there's like a whistle mechanic, like, you know how you can whistle for your horse or something. In some games it'll be like, oh, it'll make the guy come to me at will, which I would rather not use that mechanic, but typically you don't have to get off your vehicle very much unless you're going into like an enemy base. Like, you go through all this and there's just going to be nothing here. Or now I'm going to get stuck. Are you serious? Now I could actually get hard. Oh no. Because now I'd have to go all the way around, because you can jump, but it's not a very good jump. You could actually get hard locked because, you know, if there's no other way up, then you'd have to fall down in a chasm that would actually kill you. And otherwise you just can't get back to your car. But yeah, like, I'm sure there's some space related games that focus on your ship a lot. But other than that, I can't think of too many games that really place that much emphasis on it. Maybe some games that are just more about driving, like Need for Speed or Test Drive Unlimited almost would have a certain amount of customization. But I think it was somewhere around here. Like, where did I leave him? Oh yeah, there we are. Or duh, the icon's there, but I'm trying not to use it, and I don't know how much fall damage there is. It'll be a Far Cry effect where you go from, you know, there to there, won't do anything, but if you go 1 inch further, it'll just kill you completely. Like, there's some weird limited fall damage element there. I kind of pushed him over. Or I just kind of phased over top of him, like clipped through him. Of course, this game isn't NA friendly with the driver's seat, because oh, that could almost be a mechanic too, where I have to, oh, I don't know about that. I'm trying to add all these different formats. Starting from when we go to the Great White, we have to go in first person. I actually should have to do that. I can use that for like the rear view mirror aspect, but, or I can just turn my head 180 because I'm not really him. But whatever, I should have to drive in first person, which is kind of a little annoying because there's so much shit blocking my view otherwise. I would rather be more like constrained to not turning around like this, but if I was looking through his eyes, I probably wouldn't be this restricted in my vision, right? It seems a little annoying now, but I'm sure cars later will get better at giving you more visibility. It's like that roof is so cramped right now. Oh, I don't know if I want to do this or not. I kind of do, but because I feel you should be limited in some way. And now I kind of ruined it then, because Well, I guess I haven't done anything yet, though. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't done a combat encounter in the car, so I'll say starting from the Great White, I should have to use first person only, and of course starting from the beginning of the meaningful combat encounters with the fist fighting, I can't I mean literally from the beginning, I'm not allowed to actually do the
Nothing out here but bones and rust. Nothing here for us.
oh, that little grate made it seem like there was something, but the way he's saying that makes me scared now. Like, would that count as a death if I go too far? Why they put that thing so conspicuous if I can't? Let's see if he says it again. It's just a mirage, I bet. But no, the point is that I'm not allowed to use the counter mechanic with the right click, and I'm not allowed to be in anything other than first person, I guess, even though I'm a little bothered by that as I think about it. That'll give it some extra immersive capability. Is this where we came from originally? Or this was like the little shortcut that I found there. Yeah, let's see if the water came back then at the other base. Wait, but I didn't do that, did I? These guys must have already been like that. I didn't have like spears and shit that I was throwing around. So I lost my ammo, right, that I wasted on the grate that I thought I could break through it. I guess I could do this to sort of farm out water. Like, I could go back and see if that's actually usable. So I'll see if that guy waits there the whole time, or if he kind of spawns somewhere else. It's kind of important to have a sense of permanence with that. Your car should stay wherever it is, or that would be an interesting format for a game like this. You have to travel the whole world on foot all the time, and even deal with the car fights on foot. Like, if you were even able to do that with like your different weapons, and you're not going to have enough ammo and shit to really deal with that, but you can pull people kind of out of their cars, I guess. You'd have to creatively deal with it in a hard mode format. Like, you're not allowed to use your vehicle at all, even if, I don't know if that would even be possible. Why are you trying to give me a jump scare, bro? But no, let's see if the water respawned, which sometimes it will do that. That was like on the top somewhere, maybe a little back. But yeah, I basically just want to get to the open world part, but I'm not sure how long that'll actually take. I guess there's not a lot even here to go through, so if you had to do it, like, even if it gives you stuff to do, there's only so much you can do in this area. But I just remember it taking a while when I originally did it, or maybe that's just a case where it's because I do stuff like this where I stall around. Water source is empty. Okay, I guess I was wrong. I'm sure it will refill eventually, but, you know. So I think I got as far as like Jeet's stronghold. So you go to Jeet's fortress, and that's kind of a main base for you later on, but that maybe takes a while to get to. And it's a case where just because you're in that area doesn't mean exactly what level of progress you're at. Maybe you stay with him a large part of the game, or I don't know. I don't feel like I made it super far in terms of the story, but in terms of just exploring, I went pretty far. But it'll always restrict you somehow that way too. Like, where do you get the map? Whatever, maybe I shouldn't be allowed to use the map either. But no, a lot of formats I do are just to make a game more immersive too. Not even like, oh, I'm doing it because I'm streaming it, because I would do this kind of thing, like I said, even when I wasn't. I think I was treating it like a first playthrough permadeath experience. Or just in general, like all these kind of formats that I do, I would do it in first person. I think some of that video that I recorded would suggest that too. Like, you can see that I'm in first person for most of it, or maybe all of it. So at some point I decided, like, okay, I have to drive around in first person all the time just to make it more realistic or immersive, which maybe it should let you do that even on foot. But we need a first person melee combat fist fighting game, which, you know, even in Elder Scrolls and stuff is like that, where you get to obviously do melee in first person, which is not always the best experience, but I should get in respectfully on the right side, which again, as a degenerate American, I would not understand that. That was honestly my first instinct. I kept trying to go to the other side. So this is like a dead end apparently, and I think I explored pretty much what there is to look at here. Maybe just the main enemy base, which I could try to fuck around with, but I don't think it wants you to, so that's the worst thing you can do sometimes early in a game, is to go where it doesn't script you to want to go. This kind of is just hurting my eyes when it comes to my explorative nature. Like, I want to kind of wander around, but I can't get a good visual on anything. Usually they'll indicate it with icons, like there'll be the looting icon if there's something to look at, but what is the point of this area here? This is where I just went and I almost felt like I was getting stuck or something, but yeah, pretend like the car is the main character and Max is just a vessel to drive it, and the game kind of works out better that way. See, there's all these weird structures, but there's never anything to actually do in them, right? Like the Red Dead Redemption problem, but even this game has way more to interact with than that. The original Red Dead, right, had very little in its open world, so even as good of a game as it is mechanically and story-wise or whatever, the actual open world experience isn't that good in terms of there'll be a little money to discover here and there, but that's about it. There's not a whole lot that you'll find that's interesting. Not too many random events or characters, not too many, you know, random items. There's not much of an inventory system for that. There's not much in the way of other collectibles or objectives, so it's very sort of straightforward, to the point that way. Look how OCD I'm being about even the starting area, which again, as long as I can come back to it, which I'm pretty sure you can, I could always find something later. I just want to be very completionist. I don't mind trying to do the base, but I don't think I can even get in there. I think you have to get an upgrade, but I kind of want to see what would happen if I do try it. We went through the left side, and the left side allowed me to basically the left side allowed me to do it in such a way that there was that one little base to loot from, right? Whatever scraps and shit I picked up. But yeah, just for a game to give you this much freedom is always nice. Being able to like fly around is a similar satisfying thing. Like in Anthem, you can kind of fly pretty freely around relatively open areas, so that can always be fun. Like open world games where you can drive around as much as you want, or fly around as much as you want, or even, again, open world like in space would be kind of satisfying, which I don't feel like I've played too many games like that. I know No Man's Sky lets you do that, or even Mass Effect wouldn't really let you do that, because there's so many games that would kind of get obsessed with the space aspect, but they would never do it right. You know, there'd always be some flaw or limit, or it would feel kind of generic. Like No Man's Sky was buggy, at least at the beginning, and Star Citizen had a lot of issues, or even what else? Like, there's so many games that claim to do that right. EVE Online has seemingly its limits too. Or a lot of it's just kind of automated MMO tropes where even the combat is more like auto-attacky. I feel like I'm getting trolled a little bit. Like, why does it have all this shit here if you can't go there? Or, I mean, if there's nothing to do there. What is it, trying to imitate Red Dead 1? Because I do remember there being a lot of stuff to do, but I guess it maybe will do it more so by the icons. Like, it'll show you if there's something to do, there'll be...
Back to my automotive tabernacle, Saint. So much to show in this sanctum.
Oh, I guess he already has it set up. I was gonna say, how can we get back there if we've never even been there in the first place? But I guess he was already hiding out there before. He was just looking for that dog for food, or what was he even doing up there? Just kind of scavenging around. Okay, here's another thing to loot. I kind of want to fuck around with the base even before it wants to let me, but I don't think it'll even let me go in there, or I can kind of maybe fall down onto it, because I bet this road probably leads to it. Yeah, we're gonna have the archer and stuff, or archer, like a sniper. That could be the death of me more than anything else. I don't think it has regenerating health either. So actually, you could get in trouble, right? If you don't have water, you could be screwed. Which I definitely hate regenerating health. I even make fun of that in GTA 5 when I did the permadeath run of that. Not a permadeath first playthrough, but just a permadeath run after I'd beaten it. Like, it's so easy because you can always just regenerate your health like you're a fucking Iron Man or some shit. Like, you have bulletproof skin, or you're some kind of supernatural creature, because, you know, ordinarily you wouldn't be able to do that shit at all. I guess this could be the whole experience. I won't even get to the open world part. I'll just do this opening area. I assume there'll be somebody to fight here. sometimes maybe I feel like the enemy types start to get repetitive and it sort of bogs down because you feel like there really should have been like a stealth system. Or sometimes there is just nobody to fight there at all. We're going to get 100% scrap completionist run before we even get to the base, right? I want to do everything that you don't have to do before you do what you do have to do. So probably here we'll have somebody to fight. Yeah, I'd love to remember if the first sessions I did in 2016 just to try the game out and test my computer out, right? I think it was the first thing I played on there just to, or one of the noteworthy things I played just because I was like, oh, it's new, so let me try it because I want to see how this goes. I wonder if that was the same file that I continued from there when I played it in 2021. It probably was, and I wouldn't mind even continuing it here. So I'll just assume that I never died, and maybe it'll say it somewhere in your, like, here there'll be some achievement or something. There's some sort of stat upgrades that you get to do as well. So there's like this stuff, then there's also the combat stuff you get to upgrade for max, all your kind of hit streak abilities and weird stuff like that, and then obviously the garage for the obviously the car upgrades. I mean, I would say like weapon upgrades, but I think that's contained within max as well. Like for the, I mean, I guess the gun and the knife are the only two meaningful ones, and then all the other ones, you're too much of a clown to actually take it with you. Every weapon breaks in like 2 hits, right? This guy's so strong, his weapons just can't handle him. You pick up a weapon from an enemy that you could use for years or keep repairing that, like you repair your car, but oh no, you got to break it in like 2 hits. Or here we could be all dishonorable and run somebody over with my car if we're gonna have a, but I don't want to even do that. Throwing a fucking rock at my dumbass. Yeah, let's say we were to try to play it strategically. Oh shit. Or using the roll like that even I don't like, but roadkill level 2. See, now that guy's always incapacitated. This other dude is just fucking stupid. Oh shit. You gotta alternate a little bit, do it methodically when you're not or this guy died way too easily. Do it methodically when you're not relying on the counters, which is kind of, you're effectively manually countering then, right? Just punch the next one before he gets to you and kind of stagger him a little bit. So that was an unfortunate waste of health, but it is what it is. Scrap number 1, scrap number 2, they're not exactly very hard to find, but this is one of the core mechanics you're gonna do. Like it feels sort of mundane, but I don't know, I guess I'm a sucker for it to some degree. Like this is all I would do too. I would just wander around little mini base to mini base, and I felt like you wouldn't really run out of stuff to do, although you would keep encountering random enemies on the road or random fights like that with the cars, or you'd have like random, like, what do you call it when it's a car fight versus a dog fight, like with obviously jets and stuff, right? It's a dog fight in the sky versus it's a what? Like there must be a term for it that I just don't know. Okay, how far is it gonna actually let me go? There'll be some Metroidvania type restriction where, yeah, but see, look at my health. I'm actually screwed because now I have to find water or one of those dinky D cans, one of the million that are left around in the wasteland, that it would allow me to, I guess the way you could maybe explain it in lore would be like, there's a dinky D factory around here that they took over now once everything's gone to shit, and that's why they're everywhere, because that's what Scrotus uses to feed his men, right? They're pillaging that one particular factory in this one particular area.
It's a dark place. We should tread carefully.
I don't think we can even go in here, so don't worry about it, because we're gonna, you know, weak gate ramming restricted, so I don't think we can do this. Why do I feel like I did this before I was technically meant to? Whatever, so that's pretty much all we can do. There's 2 things to interact with here then. We can get through this gate if we get some upgrades on the car, and we also have to get through that other gate on the other side where it was like on the ground, and it was like the one I wasted my 2 bullets on like a total fucking clown. So I'll assume you can't go too much farther out here to the left, otherwise he'll say something, right? There's nothing out there for us, or even you're gonna fall down and die like that, which I wouldn't know because I never died, but I assume it. I probably did die in that run, if that counts. Like I would have probably messed around with something like that. I don't remember though. But this would still count as starting fresh because I never beat the game. So technically it's always the first playthrough. And I'll never beat the game probably because I just enjoy the open world shit too much. Or now he won't be here to warn me, but obviously... Whatever. It seems like you can get stuck on these rocks sometimes where you'll fall down a part of it and then you can't get back up. You can't climb, so you're just screwed. Right, that seems like it could happen a lot. Alright, let's actually go to his base. Maybe I won't even do too much in the session. I was hoping to get kind of farther, but I'd like to at least revisit that save file just to kind of see where I was at and what all I had done. And even like Shadow of Mordor, I always do open world games like this where I get distracted and then I never beat them. The most classic example is Red Dead 1 because I always go into it and say, oh, even the open world isn't that interesting, so I won't get lost in that because there's not much to do. But then I create my Bounty Hunter series where I just go around and keep trying to get my bounty as high as possible, and that's all I've ever done with the game, aside from the first couple missions, so I've never beaten it to this day. Like, it's a fun thing, though, because, again, it's about the journey, not the destination, so it doesn't matter if I beat it. If I'm enjoying some form of gameplay within it, then I guess it really doesn't make a difference. Because you're going to... Yeah, so those could be the three formats. It's a first playthrough permadeath. It's also a no counter run. I can't use the right click on the mouse at all. And also, it's a... I could build that as a hard mode aspect, too. Like, oh, well, the fact that I'm even using mouse and keyboard, even though I don't find that really too bad. I actually prefer it. But, yeah, it's a no counter run. It's a permadeath first playthrough. And it's a first-person car run where I have to be in first person all the time. Chum Bucket's hideout. How long is this tutorial part gonna be, though, anyway? He's gonna have an infinite supply of water, clearly. But yeah, you get like a little flashlight later, too, I feel like. Yeah, there's so many games that sort of flirt with a survival aspect. Like Far Cry 3 is a survival game, but it's really not, right? There's no survival element in there, like having to eat or drink. All you have to do is just skin animals and hunt animals, but you don't even have to. Like, it's just window dressing. Same thing with this game. Again, you just drink and eat just for health, not really for actual hunger meter and stuff like that. And then even games like The Last of Us, oh, it's a survival game where you're scavenging in the apocalypse, but you're really not, right? It's a very linear story game that allows you to basically, or sometimes it might let you abuse this. Wait, how do you even eat? How do you even drink it? E's not working. Maybe you can't drink it in here because that's much too vulgar a display of power or something for this guy. We have to be all sophisticated in here. So you have, I feel like they put all this stuff here for a reason. Somebody has to visually appreciate it. All the little graffiti and shit in your own place, or maybe it was here before. Yeah, this seems relatively conspicuous that they wouldn't notice you doing this shit. So this will just tutorialize some of the car upgrades and whatnot. I guess I don't mind restarting because I'm not going to remember everything anyway, but most of it was just empty calories going around doing the same thing over and over. Or it should be like permadeath cars. If your car gets destroyed, you can't use it again, but that doesn't even make sense because it'll be the same car for a long time.
It's just a mess of parts.
No. She's knowledge from the numinous, divinely inspired. She wills herself upon this world. Look! See? Here. Divine meets drive shaft and a symbiosis of faith. Modded and made to measure. You want some of that old-time religion, huh? I got a classic whammy turbo high dog. Huh? Hell yeah! Bulletproof and torture tested. Statically upgraded with chum bucket overdrive. Coils and springs, shocks and links too.
It's gotta be 8 cylinders, nothing less.
Yes, we will get there. Yes. First, we have to get her beautificial body.
Show me where it is.
Yes. Come. No time like the present. Come on, Saint. We must go.
Oh, I thought he would just show me something in the upgrades. I didn't think we'd actually go out and do something. This must just be the first base that we go to. Magnum Opus, which, yeah, I do remember him always calling it that.
From a place sad and strange, where the chariots of old went to die. A place I call the graveyard.
Or maybe this won't be the mission.
Dead of
This might just be somewhere.
Are away on their wine.
It might build up to that more slowly, which is the greatest early game cuckery since I guess I am too afraid to actually try to go there. But I wonder what would happen. Or maybe I shouldn't do it while on a mission, or maybe I should drink this shit. I'm pretty sure it's E.
Keep the car safe.
How do you actually drink? I don't get it. If it's not E, it's not R. I actually don't know. I guess maybe I should be able to look at this. I thought I knew what it was. Let's just key mapping on the ground. Canteen is 4. Really? What the hell is that? I guess it probably would have told me it with the prompt at some point, but this one has better visibility than the other one. Or now fuel low.
Unfortunately, with Gastown comes the blessings of gasoline. We should find enough fuel for us to make it to the graveyard.
Or yeah, even with first he's saying we want to avoid the buzzards, but now we're gonna have to fight them for it. But no, it's like what if you run out of fuel in the middle of the wasteland? But I guess you would have to just walk and find some then. I would always have, you can always put
Fuel cans.
you can always put one like in the back as extra too. I remember doing that. I guess there is nobody guarding it.
Empty.
But yeah, we can just telepathically detect cans.
Now, along with anything of use.
This is the one where we actually had to fight them before, so we already know what we're getting into.
Big steel gift box. What prizes do you hold?
Yeah, I'll make a etiquette not to
She's out of gas.
run people over, but even here, really, you're out of gas, but you're still driving. Make it etiquette not to.
What a great bounty. We're in luck. This rare haul, we may refuel and demolish.
E, hold to enter vehicle, ignite, F to refuel.
All the way to the brim.
Every GTA player gets confused there. Oh, I thought that's to enter the car. Or yeah, imagine they add that as a mechanic in GTA 6. You have to worry about your gas. You have to worry about some other basic, you know, maintenance. They should definitely add a stealth system though, or the ability to literally fucking crouch. How about that? Or now we should. Yeah, that's what I was thinking anyway. But that's also dangerous. It makes you an easy target if you just. I can't believe it was 4 for the canteen.
Before the nightly
What a weird keybind. I feel like that was cheating though, the fact that I even had to look into that, but I would have never guessed that. So I guess the loot would have still been there if I didn't already get it in that base, but then I wouldn't have had to fight anybody for it. Level 1 gun, obviously, and I wasted the 2 fucking shots that I had. Yeah, I feel bad even for doing that, where I have to look in the menu for, or look in the keybinds for that. Like 1 through 4 is gonna be. Yeah, I don't think it really tutorialized that though. It made me fill the water, but
nobody around. Their gate unguarded. The gasoline saint. Huh? One blast should split it wide open.
oh, you know what that should also do is that other one. So what if I wasted on?
Let's make this one.
Couldn't I get hard stuck if I waste the fuel can on something else? Because I could use this to open the other hole on the other side too. Yeah, what if my car was closer during that? Find a car body. Oh, this is a long mission. I don't know why I don't remember this. This goes on for a while, then you go there, then you fight like some sneaky ones. Some of the stealthy kind of minions.
Like strangers.
Has some sort of death trap there.
Tread careful.
Man killers. But I guarantee you it's not going to one-shot you. Oh, shit. Broke my glass there a little bit on the side, but luckily it regenerated. Nice feature of this car.
More traps ahead.
Yeah, can we get an upgrade where we make it an electric car so we can rely on that? Oh, wait, we're not going to have a charger for that either. Also powered by fossil fuels. Or maybe I should have waited for it to blow up before I risked going through it. Yeah, I remember some of this pretty well. Maybe I restarted even as I was doing it. I must have. So in 2021, I probably restarted when I came back to playing it. But then again, I didn't get too far. Fucking. But again, the car is basically invincible, whereas you are not. So as long as you let the car tank for you, but not, you know, as long as your health value is fine, he'll just always keep fixing it, or maybe he won't if you run out of scraps. Later on, they'll show that as a mechanic, but I'm kind of going very casually and slow. Yeah, this is kind of what my schedule is like now that it shows. It's like I'm just playing random stuff with no real rhyme or reason. Like, I'm not necessarily going to make a series out of it either, but I would like to at least, you know, have it as an option where I can just go back in and continue randomly exploring around and stuff.
There, our prize, right for the taking. Go quickly.
You have a little mini boss fight up at the top there.
Through those cave tunnels.
Get the car in place down here. I'll lower the body onto it.
Or yeah, see, that's one of those sneaky guys.
Something here.
Or maybe that's the guy who'll teach you. No, I don't think it is. That guy's kind of taller. Just gonna have a total 2-3. You gotta be a completionist even under this circumstance. What if they just made it as a trap for you so you'll fall to your death? That's exactly what they'd expect you to do.
Flashlight.
And now this battery will last you the rest of the whole fucking game, right? You never have to worry about it. Just smack it a couple times like Joel in The Last of Us in the last forever. The 3 is the final. Oh, it must have showed me the canteen earlier. With that, I honestly just didn't even see it. That is such a weird button. 4. The 3 is flashlight, 4 is canteen. So I mean, it seems like it would come on its own. But let's see. Yeah, if you have a little left over, then you could just use it right on the spot and then get the rest of it. But reach the car body platform is going to be a big fight over there. I remember it. Which is like cheating because I already know what I'm doing then and what is supposed to be a... Why you gotta yell when there's all these enemies around? 2 out of 3. He's trying to pressure me like, oh, I'm looking out for your interest, that we don't want to draw attention to ourselves, but also you literally have the fucking audacity to yell like the clown that you are. And I guess we don't really get a choice, right? This should be a major choice moment where we get to choose between a few different looks for our starting vehicle, like choosing a starting Pokemon. This is kind of a missed opportunity. Select a car body, but they're all... Or maybe it'll let me... Oh, I get it. It'll let me choose one site. Do it, probably. Die, Rolla, Death Rattle. Oh, there are actually quite a few. Furnace, Shovel Face, Wild Hunt, Death Rattle, Die, Rolla. Let's see. I want something maybe in the middle. I like the Furnace look. This one seems a little awkward with the front. This one seems okay. Wild Hunt. Doesn't really tell you a whole lot about it, does it? Or maybe it'll... Oh, it'll show it like behind. Okay. Shovel Face I definitely don't like. I don't mind the Wild Hunt. This one seems kind of too bulky. Die Roll. I kind of want the middle one, I guess. Right, maybe should have to do the first one just because it's like a default aspect. You know what? I'll do it just to be boring and generic. Yeah, you're being highly, highly conspicuous here. You just gotta attach it right here while you have a big fight on the moment. Look how many there are too, if they really were interested in killing you. Evade attacks. that are too powerful to parry, kind of like every attack, because I'm a bit of a clown that way. But he's a bit evasive too. But yeah, you'd have to keep looking in his direction too, because oh shit. Because, you know, I'm turned around the other way, so I couldn't possibly know what he's doing. Right, being realistic as far as what Max would have to do. Pick up his stupid ass knife. If it's a deadly weapon, so that I should certainly be allowed to use, but not so much the pin him against the fucking wall right here. I'll try to save the Shiv Punisher thing. I thought there was a thing where you can pin them against the wall and then really beat the shit out of them. Yeah, like that, but even before. Wait, how is he this tanky? Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm trying to play all realistic like that, where... Although it's not really realistic at all. Oh, shit, there's so many of them. Which, again, the shivs will get consumed, just like in The Last of Us. You can only use it once, like, as if that would really make sense. At least with the clickers, I can understand that it would get sort of buried in there. Shit. See, when you're committing to that too, like I should almost only... I just rolled right into him too. I should only be allowed to use like power attacks, so you have to commit. You can just get away with spam clicking. I wonder if that... Oh shit. I wonder if that would actually be a good format in terms of... Holy shit. If that would be a good format to do in terms of... You have to commit for each hit, and if you do that, then I'm coming up with too many formats as I go. That way, that's actually a good idea, come to think of it. I'll try it for like maybe the next encounter. Every attack has to be a power attack, because then you commit to yourself getting hit, and you'll have to abuse rolling basically a lot. Use left and right to aim and fire weak spots with the shotgun. Use A and D to side ram. Even though he has the spikes, I thought I didn't even have any ammo. Or this is going to blow up right in my face, as if that's not, you know, going to damage me as well. But just remember, your car is basically invincible. I think I still have one shot, even though it says 0, because... I'm going to hit R to reload and then destroy my own shit. I'd want to be a completionist and actually blow this guy up, but now I can't even see where he is. I should be allowed to maybe do that just for... It's a little hard to do when you can't see. Or again, I shouldn't be allowed to look around like 180, almost Exorcist style. You'll never expect me to do this. Fuck me. I guess I could just do the same thing. We get a better angle. But that's going to cause me to flip over too. But no, I should try to do one with the side ram, but I'm having a little bit of trouble doing it. And when they're covered by spikes, it makes it feel kind of silly that you would even try to do that. Oh, here we go. Here's our chance. That didn't do shit to him. Yeah, see, that did a good amount. It's hard to get that angle on it, or I'm not even trying to do it in terms of... Or he's still alive. I'm not even so much hitting the side. How did he survive that one? Like, I'm not doing the A or D that it's telling me to do. Of course, you're just immune to fire too, and it's not... When the source is some other car, it's just fine. Just blow it up right in front of you, as if that wouldn't cause yours to catch on fire too. That's kind of an awkward thing too. You're in the middle of like an incomplete jump where you're going all out of control. Tom Bucket calls it the Magnum Opus. It's not much of a car now, but it has potential. We found a body, but more work is needed before it's battle ready. I'm actually intrigued by that idea though. If I...
We're alive and free in the graveyard. Wait, something's loose. I can fix it now if you stop.
Yeah, this is what he always does too.
It's your choice.
You can watch him fix it right now. E to repair. I feel like you don't have to hit E though. He'll always just do it on his own. Or maybe that was only because it was always on fire and undrivable, so then you don't have to hit E because he gets the point that it's broken down. We get a nice first-hand view of this shit too. So the one thing, can you actually drink this in the car too? The water, I guess not. Don't drink and drive. But no, it's a case where you would get to, I want to open that other grate, and I also want to, but I would need like a fuel tank to waste just to do that. And I want to consider the melee condition too. It might seem a little tedious, and in fact, it might not even make a whole lot of sense. Maybe it should be like a partial condition, like when I'm trying to hit somebody off the other side. Like the first hit, oh, it's going to be too complicated. The first hit has to be a power attack, and then every hit after that can be... But then if I'm switching targets, I should have to keep track of that somehow. Right, so if I'm hitting one guy, I power attack one guy, I hit him a couple times, then I roll, then I power attack the next guy. And even if it's the same guy I already hit, I should still have to do it again every time, just to kind of make you commit a little bit. Let's see if we can abuse the water a little bit here with respect to... Or wait, it's all the way out here, isn't it? Place is a little darker than I would have thought.
That's all for now.
Or there was some that was still in that base that we just went to, but I didn't go back and refill. Yeah, I'd want to blow that shit up, or can I just go out freely, or is it not going to let me? Okay, I guess you would have started the mission there. I do want to do that one base, but then again, if I don't have a gas tank, I can't do it. I could just blow up my own car around it, and that would do it, and then have him repair it. Or it doesn't even let you use that anymore, so that's just going to sit there the rest of the fucking game, I guess. Yeah, I like having this sort of freedom now, that just because I don't have a fixed schedule, I can just do whatever the hell I want, but it's also a little weird because I'm never going to commit to anything or make a series out of it. So, do I have like a thing in the back or not?
Lie low here.
I mean, I'd have to find one first, which I don't know if I can guarantee that. It seems almost like a waste, like I'll just do it later, as long as I remember it. Because that's the only other thing of interest around here, honestly.
I need more than just a body and some wheels.
Hey, man! Oh, we need parts, scarce as they are. Help me gather all this scrap. Huh? I'll fashion a harpoon.
Or that's what we can use to pull the grate that I'm talking about too, because it's so weak. And then it'll keep having different, like, again, upgrade requirements, like, oh, harpoon restricted, or...
We'll gain entry into many sealed places. May also prove to be useful in battle.
Which we haven't had a car battle yet.
Defeat enemies, rip off doors, even wheels. So, we got all we need?
Just junk and parts.
Ah, yeah, but the jag tip, it's not here. See, it's not here at all. Yeah, it's in my bunk. It's just there for safekeeping. See?
I like the jag tip, yeah. Want to wear gloves while you do that, dude? As if you shouldn't wear gloves anyway for your fucking fit. You don't want to keep weapons with you that you take from enemies because they break in 2 hits, apparently. But your fist doesn't, you know, have any wear and tear. But you won't wear, like, gloves or, like, little fucking... What do they call them? Like, brass knuckles or something? That you get as, like, a permanent upgrade. Or maybe you do get to upgrade to that. From the little max menu. A lot of things still haven't been tutorialized.
If the hunchback delivers, this harpoon will be very useful.
But to imply that he was using it for something sexual, I guess. Which Max didn't give a shit about. He didn't even process it or care. Welcome to the garage. This is where the magnum opus will be constructed and customized. The harpoon category is marked with the mission objective. Go there now to install the base harpoon. So, impossible, or improving the harpoon makes it possible to... I read those 2 lines together. Improving the harpoon makes it possible to pull off tires, bumpers, and doors, as well as pull down large structures. And hopefully get rid of that stupid gate. Hood ornament. 169 scraps, which is probably more than I would expect you to have, because I explored a little bit outside of what it would tell you to do. Max has collected the jag tip and enough scrap to make the base harpoon. Ahoy. With this tool, we can rip off enemy doors with elegance and ease. Also, weak structures will fall prey to it, which is presumably the Chum Bucket saying that, which that almost doesn't sound quite like him. Install base harpoon and attach to minor elements like vehicle doors and weak structures. It's also very effective on oh yeah, you could drag people around. Vehicle doors, weak structures. Yeah, don't call them people. Let's dehumanize our enemies in this universe because they don't really look or feel like people too much. Max has enough scrap to make a ramming grill. Okay, I was more interested in doing the hood ornament. Let's see if we still have enough after that. Install the tussle bar upgrade. Oh, wait, what did it say about that overall? Adding a front grill increases overall ramming damage to vehicles and structures. It also provides protection to the front of the vehicle during head-on collisions. To bump and grind with a simple bar is better than doing so buck nude, but just a tad. Okay, you don't need all this innuendo. Bumping and grinding with simple bar is better than doing so buck nude. Increase ramming power 10%, reduce head-on collision damage by 10%, weight is light. Yeah, this is a pretty satisfying upgrade tree that you get to do a lot with later on. When ready, let's also do this one, I guess. Or why would it show it like something you can do if you can't do it? What? Weird. Maybe just after this tutorial is over, or new, like new compared to what? Everything's new, dude. This is my first time playing the game.
Just stand a chance. She'll need nitrous. I know how, but we'll need the part.
That's for like the
Just get him. It'll be easy with the harpoon.
the boost.
But first, Scrotus war boys are out there. And if we don't weaken their numbers, why, it'll mean the end of you, me, and the magnum opus.
All right, let's do it.
Is it gonna finally take me to that base? Harpoon, or what I definitely want to do is again, I'll get that little grate on the other side if it lets me.
See those metal monsters? Scrotus war boys put them up to mark their turf. Bring them down for good.
Ramming could damage our front, but it should work.
So do you wait? But you can't use right click because I thought you used the gun with the right click. So, or it'll like it'll let me mouse wheel and choose it. I remember. Ramming power off it, or why couldn't you use the harpoon that we just threat lowered? But see, that's a mechanic I would almost want to avoid because I want the threat to be high so that they attack me more because that makes it more fun, right? Oh shit. Yeah, your car is incredibly durable that you don't have to worry about too many things. Even if it catches on fire and blows up, he'll still repair it and shit. So I think this is where the gate was going to be. And this should certainly work. Perfect use of the harpoon, actually. Pull with vehicle. Or whoops, let me disconnect that shit. Or then I could drag that shit anywhere that I want to. Okay, so here's where we discovered a couple enemy types. I don't know how far that drop would be, so I accidentally almost just fell through it. Give me like a fuel can that I can take with me so I can blow something up too. As if that's what... I mean, you should use the fuel fully until there's a little bit left and then use it to blow up. Like, how much do you need in there for it to actually do that? There were definitely some enemies here because it was giving me all those notifications. Jimmy bar, which I don't think we have yet. The Jimmy bar is required to open certain containers. Purchase it on the max menu, which I don't think I can use yet. Which shows you I'm already kind of sequence breaking that it would tell me that because it wouldn't expect you to go here so early. That was kind of lame. I can't even do anything there. But no, the next combat encounter, I want to see what happens if I just play it like that. The first hit has to be a power hit, I guess, on every enemy, even as you're switching between them back and forth. It's going to keep teasing me with this fucking icon here in terms of the, whatever. In terms of the loot. But no, he's not even telling me to use a harpoon on it when I thought that was the whole point of what we just did. You can just ram it. I think later on you have to use it maybe when they're a little bit stronger. Or I just remember always doing that.
Monument to the Carnivites. Tear it down.
It at least stops me as I'm doing it. The other one, I thought I just drove right through it. Toggle weapons, yeah, we get it. Let's try it with this one now. Or just because it has like these guards around it. Yeah, he's like me. Let's just get this over with. We don't need like 5 missions to build up to it. But instead, we just blow it all up so they can't use it, but then we let it go to waste too. We'll just take like one stupid can out of there. Right? Like, why not just keep the whole facility for our use? Or I guess they do take it over maybe later, like cheats people and stuff.
Let's see.
This is what we just did at the beginning, or I was trying to, but he didn't care about it, right? When I was first using the binoculars. Oh yeah, and I should not be allowed to kill those until the end to make it harder for myself. Warcrier's sole purpose is to rally a camp and escalate its occupants to a battle-ready frenzy. Once buffed, the occupants in the area become more dangerous. Eliminate them. I'll try to do the opposite of that. Right, those mechanics are always fun too. Flame pipe as part of a camp's perimeter defense. The flame pipe defend, but then you can also blow it up as a weakness. Flame pipe defends the main entrance of a camp with extremely damaging wall of fire. To eliminate it, track down its fuel source and destroy it. If allowed to become buffed, the fire will kill almost instantly. What, you can buff the fuel tank with the Warcrier even though that makes no sense? Now that's what I call galvanized steel when you actually buff it with this fucking Warcrier. I guess that's all there is to look at. Like what? Oh, the sniper, of course. As part of the camp's perimeter defenses, the camp sniper scans the wasteland for potential threats, which he's been ignoring me all this time. They are capable of detecting intruders from a great distance and are deadly at short and long ranges. If allowed to become buffed, the sniper rifle will fire more frequently and with better accuracy. At least that makes some amount of sense, but the camp perimeter is often guarded by various defenses. When approaching the camp, 3 defenses will become alerted. These defenses will become alerted. If the alert meter gets full, the defenses protecting the camp will also get buffed, which makes them significantly more dangerous. I mean...
Camp is light defenses. I'll deal with them before entering.
Yes, yes, nothing our sweet magnum opus cannot.
So we can pull the sniper down, I guess, or just knock out the tower. And then blow up the thing with ammo, which I don't have. Or maybe I could pull the gas tank too, I'm not even sure. Hey Metalin, how's it going? I don't know if I could run this guy off with the tower or if I should grab him. I think I could just grab him instead of worrying about the tower at all. Oh shit. That could be the end of a run right there. I just crashed right into it. So now what happens? Is he able to repair it, or it should be a mission fail? That should count as a permanent failure. But because you lose the car, and the car is like a main character. But maybe I'll look at the other save file. But literally we drive right into the fire like a clown. That doesn't mean I couldn't still try again. But no, the point is that should actually count if you consider the vehicle, like, you know, to be that important, which it is in this game. But no, I'll try to find the save file and I'll try to... Does it actually let you delete? Like, that should actually totally count though. Because it always is so forgiving that you could, like, why is it even letting me resume if I thought I just deleted it? But, oh, pretty good. It's the case where... It's the case, I don't know what it's resuming if you just deleted that, but the point is that it's always so forgiving with letting you repair it, like even if it's on fire all the time. It's just the fact that I left it in the fire and then it's forcing me to get out. So whatever, I'll try to find that save somewhere. That one, and then maybe Shadow of Mordor. I'm trying to think all the other series I either left hanging or that I just didn't do even on my old channel and I just did on those recorded sessions, where I was basically able to what do you think? Yeah, I don't know if I I don't really have the money to be spending right now. But yeah, like I'll find the save file, and I'm thinking like Shadow of Mordor was one of them, Mad Max was one of them, Hollow Knight is definitely one of them. I guess Symphony of the Night hard mode, but I wouldn't really have to have the save. I would just have to remember how to replay the same mode, and then and I didn't get too far in that. And then PvZ hard mode, which I guess I never finished, but at least I restarted it when I did it. Okay, see you later.